What's up everyone and welcome back to the MMA Zone. Today, let's get started with Israel Adesanya breaks silence on UFC 305 moment. On Saturday, Israel Adesanya was finished by Dricus du Plessis in their UFC 305 headliner, marking the first time the last stylebender has suffered back-to-back losses inside the octagon. While the fight had been a close one leading up to the stoppage, with Adesanya up 2-1 on Judge Ben Cartledge's scorecard, the former champion wound up getting rocked and then submitted in the fourth round of the pair's highly anticipated bout. Moments before the finish, Adesanya appeared to be pointing to the ground like Max Holloway did in the closing moments of his UFC 300 clash with Justin Gaethje. However, as the last stylebender explained in a video for his YouTube channel on Monday, he wasn't pointing to the ground like Max Holloway did.
I was moving and then my right ankle rolled and I tripped as he was throwing, So to the untrained eye, or in the moment, it looked like, I can't remember who said, I think maybe Dom said, oh, that was a really bad shot he got hit with. And it looked like I was rocked. So, but then I got up and circled out and I pointed at the ground, looking at him. And DC goes, he's pointing at the ground like Max Holloway, like, come here. Nope. What I said to him was like, I tripped. You didn't rock me. I didn't want him to think he rocked me or anything.
Adesanya also provided an update on his future, revealing that he could fight this weekend if he wanted to.
Still feel good. I'm like, literally, I can fight this weekend. Don't have to even make where I can fight this weekend, but I'm like, we'll see. I just want to get back to the gym, get training again, and then we'll reset, regroup.
Following the victory, du Plessis took to Instagram, posting a photo of 2 title belts, along with the caption, well, that was Izzy. #and still #Africa time. While DDP revealed that he would be willing to move up in weight to fight Alex Pereira, it sounds as though the champion's next fight will be a rematch against Sean Strickland. Next up, let's take a look at Tom Aspinall goes off on Jon Jones. Traditionally, when the UFC creates an interim title, the interim champion will eventually compete in a title unification bout when the champion is ready to return. In the case of the heavyweight division, however, fans may never have a chance to see a title unification bout between Jon Jones and Tom Aspinall. During a recent appearance on Michael Bisping's Believe You Me podcast, Aspinall went off on Jones while speaking with Bisping and Anthony Smith.
Mate, the guy, we know he's a bit overweight these days. The guy was sat there, mate, with the Cheeto fingers or whatever, the Doritos on his fingers, with his iPhone in hand, waiting for me to get knocked out so he can start tweeting about it. Let's be honest, and since I won that fight, he's gone completely quiet, and he'll continue to go completely quiet about me until he retires, because there's no way on earth that he's going to fight me. Not a chance. I will retire Jon Jones without even fighting him.
Aspinall also refuted Jones's claim to the undisputed championship given his inactivity, taking aim at his UFC 285 win over Ciryl Gane.
He beat one guy, Ciryl Gane, who didn't want to be there 2 years ago. Yeah. And he's walking around calling himself the real champion.
While a fight between Jones and Aspinall seems unlikely, the interim champ confirmed that he will be ready to step in as the backup fighter in the event that either Jones or Miocic winds up forced out of their upcoming fight, which is expected to take place in November.
Yes, mate, that's confirmed. And I will jump in on 1 hour's notice if I have to and beat either of them.
Depending on how things play out after Jones and Miocic share the octagon, Aspinall could wind up getting promoted to undisputed champion if the winner of the bout retires. Next up, let's take a look at Dan Hooker versus Charles Oliveira next. Over the weekend, Dan Hooker picked up one of the biggest wins of his career as he dispatched number 5 ranked lightweight Mateusz Gamrot. With the win, Hooker is likely to fly up the rankings after entering the bout ranked 11th at 155 pounds. While fans theorize that a rematch against Dustin Poirier could be next up for the Hangman, during an interview with the MacLife, the fan favorite spoke about a post-fight meeting with Hunter Campbell and a potential clash between he and Charles Oliveira.
Yeah, they want Charles. That's a good fight. I mean,
it's a great fight.
Yeah. No. But there's like heaps of cool shit I can do. You know what I mean?
Hooker also revealed that he told Hunter Campbell after his UFC 305 win that he would be interested in fighting Arman Tsarukyan, who could wind up competing for an interim title next while Islam Makhachev recovers from a hand injury. In addition to potential fights with Oliveira and Tsarukyan, Hooker also name-dropped Justin Gaethje prior to UFC 305, making it clear that there's no shortage of potential opponents for the Hangman as he looks to make it 4 straight his next time out. Next, let's take a look at Jamahal Hill offers to fight Magomed Ankalaev. While the expectation was that Magomed Ankalaev would get the next crack at the light heavyweight title, Ankalaev was recently booked to fight Alexander Rakic at UFC 308, with Alex Pereira then getting booked for a fight with Khalil Roundtree Jr. at UFC 307. The news came as somewhat of a shock to the MMA community, given that Roundtree was recently pulled from a potential #1 contender bout against Jamahal Hill after accidentally ingesting a banned substance. Now, with Hill eager to reinsert himself into the title picture, the former champ spoke in a video for his YouTube channel, offering to fight Magomed Ankalaev at UFC 308.
You got a fight coming up, you know what I mean, against Rakic, you know. Shout out to Rakic, because he probably, you know what I mean, he's very well capable of putting your ass out, you know. But best believe, if my phone ring and they need somebody to come step in and handle you, bro, you light work for me. You light work for me. And I can't wait to show that. I'm not gonna do too much talking because, like I said, I'm healing up. I'm doing my thing. I'm getting back to form. But make no mistake, you already know what it is when I'm in form. Champion. You feel what I'm saying?
The MMA community was quick to weigh in on the situation, with one writing, Hill would need to beat the winner of Ankalaev Rakic if he wants to get into the title picture. However, I think the winner of Pereira Khalil will fight the winner of Ankalaev Rakic, meaning when Hill is fit, he will need to fight someone else, maybe the loser of these fights. Another wrote, just hope Alex and Ankalaev win so we can all see that fight. Another joked about Hill's UFC 300 loss to Pereira, writing, Alex Pereira was also light work for Jamahal. One wrote, I actually like Jamahal because the confidence and ability to sell fights far outweigh his actual skills. He'd probably get mopped by Ankalaev, but I'm still interested in the matchup. If Hill doesn't wind up stepping in to fight Ankalaev on short notice, he could wind up competing against the loser of the Ankalaev-Rakic fight, assuming the winner is next up for a crack at the title. Next, let's take a look at Brendan Schaub responds to Dricus du Plessis. Leading up to UFC 305, Brendan Schaub was confident that Israel Adesanya would defeat Dricus du Plessis and reclaim the middleweight title, predicting that the last stylebender would outclass du Plessis en route to a dominant win. Following his 4th round submission win in Perth, du Plessis took to social media, pulling the receipts while firing back at Schaub and several other members of the MMA community who doubted him. Schaub then responded to DDP in a video for his YouTube channel this week, giving the champ props for finding a way to win.
Because he's so well-rounded, he's tough to prepare for because he's going in there and he makes it a straight-up fight. Is he, Mackenzie Dern or Gilbert Burns on the ground? Nope. He's not a 10 down there. He's an 8. Is he a 10 on the feet? Nope. He's an 8. He just always figures out a way to get the job done. That's what he's world class at. Toughness, 10. You would say he's just the best fighter. He's just good at everything. Your boy was wrong.
As Schaub went on to point out, what made du Plessis' win all the more impressive was the fact that Israel Adesanya looked good inside the octagon, rather than showing signs of ring rust and looking like a shell of his former self. After the impressive display from du Plessis, Schaub couldn't help but give the champion kudos, calling him a beast after his first successful title defense. Next, let's take a look at Dana White reveals bad news on the UFC lawsuit. After Nevada judge Richard Boulware denied a settlement agreement in the UFC's antitrust lawsuit, the Lee v. Zuffa suit is now set to go to trial on February 3rd, assuming a new settlement amount is not agreed upon before then. John Nash broke the news of the Lee v. Zuffa trial date being set for February 3rd, with Josh Gross corroborating the report, writing, I wasn't in the room today, but I can confirm the trial date, John reported. Judge Boulware informed the litigants that the trial date won't be moved off the calendar unless he grants preliminary approval on a new settlement. Nash then responded, writing, this is important because, as has been demonstrated the entire case, Zuffa won't negotiate any settlement as long as there's no hard end date in sight. The promotion is currently battling 2 separate antitrust suits that allege the promotion created a monopsony, similar to a monopoly, by acquiring competitors and coercing fighters into signing exclusive contracts. One group, the Lee v. Zuffa class, is composed of fighters who competed for the UFC from 2010 to 2017, while Johnson v. Zuffa suit covers fighters who competed for the UFC from 2017 onward. While the two sides had previously reached a settlement agreement that would pay both classes of fighters a total of $335 million, Judge Boulware denied the motion. The two sides can now either return to the negotiating table in hopes of reaching a new settlement agreement or head to trial in February, which could result in major changes to the UFC's business practices if the judge grants injunctive relief.